jump right into the video. Currently November 18th, 2020. I'm gonna try to speak up above the sound machine in the back, and hopefully it goes okay. So this is going to be kind of like a mixture of a support stand number 4, as well as a little bit of a life update. I'm gonna read out I'm gonna try to not to say and as much, and try to edit that out a lot more. The ground rules. I'm gonna talk about the ground rules for support stands. So, okay, number 1, no details of methods. Self-harm suicide methods, disorders, like no numbers, calories, all that kind of jazz, and no like sort of specifics of like substance use and things to that effect. Number 2 is no trolling. 3 is be respectful. I encourage you to handle, if you have interpersonal effectiveness issues with people, handle it yourselves, but if you need like my support and my intervention, feel free to ask for it, all that jazz. Swearing is allowed. I don't mind swearing. The channel isn't catered towards children or anything like that, so I always mark that as that's not, one of my things. So consequences if you break a rule involve warning you, like you get a written warning to like not do that, and then if you do it again, I'll just block you somehow, or like maybe filter the words or something like that. Be mindful of other people's experiences. Use I statements. I'll model that within the video itself. Expect that kind of follow through, I suppose, in the comment section. This is a place of positivity, hope, and inspiration, kindness and compassion, and trying to be our best selves. Know your limits and your boundaries, and verbalize them in the sense of writing them out, being very like, for me, so one of my boundaries is that I'm not available like 3 days a week, and I'm not available after 8 p.m. and up until 9 a.m. So those are like one of my boundaries and stuff. Disclaimer as well. I think the quality is a lot better, which I'm really glad that spanned out. I haven't filmed in a while, so this is what happens. Anywho, the disclaimer, yes, I am not an expert. I am not a professional. I just have lived experiences and some trainings here and there from various things for particular things. So we don't give advice here necessarily. We try to like just talk from our own experiences and like what's helped us. So for me, like what's helped me and things like that, like it's not going to be the same generalizable thing for everybody kind of thing, and metaphors are really helpful. Kind of straying away from you should do this, or because that's giving advice, so not really that like I did this and this helped me a lot. Not everything's gonna work for the same person, different circumstances, different individual experiences, and all that jazz. I statements. This is a pro-recovery place to encourage coping skills, resources, extra help where a person needs it. If I ask like maybe what state you're in or like what country, it's only for the purposes of me to hand you some more local resources and everything like that. Yeah, this is definitely a place to just encourage help-seeking behaviors, and again, I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be. I just know my own lived experiences and some of the peer-related trainings that I've done in my outside real-life world, I suppose one could say. And so I would suggest to don't focus as much on like, how do I word this? Like, I guess don't like describe the graphic detail of the trigger. Focus on how you're gonna handle it and such. So I should be using eyes. So I would mention like a trigger if it was something that happened, but then not like focus in on that. Like I'd focus more on like what am I gonna do about it? Like how am I gonna problem solve? How am I gonna use DBT skills, dialectical behavior therapy, all that jazz. And no threats to self or others. Those are all the rules for support stands. I read them off of my little papers, and now I can actually get into the video itself. Try to work on my talking a lot and shoving it down into like a square. neat and organized, like fluid production in a sense. I will try to take out all the background noise and all the stuff that might pop in on this. I'm also going to edit this video on my old laptop after I finish filming it. So there's that. Okay, so I'm going to just jump right into where I'm at in life and the function of the support stand. So the support stand is actually really interesting. I forgot the reason why I started doing support stands, and I just remembered it like a couple of days ago after I was talking with someone on one of my other videos. If you don't know, I probably should make a little intro about myself. I'm Raquel. I'm 27. I have a dog, and I do a lot of art, creative tasks and such. I have moved away from being a mental health channel to more of a recovery focused channel. So I focus more on like skills I can use and like things that have helped me, and like art stuff that I like to make, and things to that effect, like things that are helpful and healthier than being stuck in the mental health identity in a sense. I do videos like time-lapse stuff, and like I put music on things. I have a lot of old footage that I just have to edit together, and I'm very new to video editing. It's not my forte. It's not something I'm most comfortable doing. So I have a lot that I need to work on, and I definitely welcome all sorts of discussion. Like, luckily, I'm really surprised that my latest video did really well, and that's really awesome, and I've had, comments and stuff. But if you have like constructive criticism, or honestly, even if you just didn't like it for whatever reason, like feel free to leave it in the comments. Like I can't fix things or can't modify things. I don't know what's wrong in a sense. So there's that. My channel is kind of like a smorgasbord of like all sorts of different things. I just do a lot of different stuff, I guess. I want to try to do more art videos. I have actually a couple of videos that I filmed that were pretty cool, that some of them were different than I normally do. So I would like to get into that. But support stand. So, okay, today I was going to film this video a lot earlier than what the time it is that I'm filming at. I got lost on the vortex of the YouTube on this person, Gary. All the names that I use in my videos and like my life and my blog and all that jazz aren't the name, like the actual names of people or places and stuff like that. Like I changed everything for confidentiality purposes. So I found Gary, who was someone that I had been following for a couple of years. I'm so sorry. This video is like all over the place. I really apologize for that. But Gary, yes, I hadn't looked at their stuff in a while, and so I started looking at some of their stuff again, and like, holy shit, all this shit happened, and I was like, what the fuck happened? So I got lost doing that for a couple of hours today, so that happened. I don't like where this is going. I might try to refilm this. So Gary, yeah, so I just kind of got lost in Gary's stuff and just all sorts of issues regarding that. I had stopped looking at their channel in the last year or so because it was more focused on drugs and like misusing medications, that kind of thing, and I just wasn't interested in that kind of stuff. I don't know where I'm going with this. Maybe I will refilm. I think I'm gonna reshoot this, so I'm just a mess right now. Hold on, let me fix this. I'm having a hard time making this video, and I don't really know why. It's just not quite coming out the way that I want it to, and so I'm gonna just try again. I imagine when you see this, it'll be more of a cohesive unit. For right now, it's not, and it's kind of making me like stressed. So I'm just gonna jump in. This is a support stand / mixture of a life update. Being a little bit before Gary. A lot of background noise right now, and it's really irritating. Oh, Gary though, see like subscription stuff come up, but like I wasn't really like actively on their channel anymore, and so I just kind of stumbled upon it again. I was like, oh hey, I wonder how so and so is, how Gary's doing, all that jazz. Checked their stuff out, and I was like blown away with how inappropriate things had gotten, and like really disappointing they had been. A lot of like grooming allegations, like really like dangerous, not good stuff. I was doing that for like the last couple of hours before I started to film. I came on with the intention, I got on my computer, I was like, I'm gonna just check my messages, you know, I took a shower, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go film a video, and then I got lost in this vortex of stuff, and then I was like, and now I'm just kind of discombobulated. I have a presentation today, so I have to actually really prepare for that very soon. So I'm getting messages and all this jazz, like it's just, everything's kind of just hitting like a wall right now for me. I'm gonna breathe, I'm gonna take a deep breath, I'm gonna move through it the best way I can. I will actually probably spray some perfume right now just to kind of ground myself and put on some lotion, self-soothe in scents and things like that. So let me grab, I'm gonna use Pearberry for a lotion, and I'm gonna use 1,000 Wishes for a perfume. So that will help. So yeah, Gary stuff was just like really new and like not something that I was aware of and everything. So that was pretty shocking to find out about. Like, so much stuff had happened. Gary out of the way. Next thing I've been kind of dealing with, right? I don't have any lived experience with eating disorders. I am writing a fan fiction, a creative like multi-chapter story about like an alternate universe Loki-centered Avengers fan fiction where there is a discussion of mental health and eating disorders in particular. There is someone that I have followed in the past called Athena. I've made a couple of videos about her in that regard, but I've never like really, I even wrote some blog posts about her and stuff. And for like, since like July this year, I tried to completely cut ties with like looking at her content and everything, and I was doing pretty well for a while. However, I have been relapsing and like looking at her stuff again, and it's very sad and like depressing and very triggering, even though I don't have an eating disorder myself. However, my brain definitely glorifies a lot of self-harm and such, so I've been having more like intrusive thoughts about it, like OCD kind of stuff. But I can't find any like information about like eating disorders and OCD and like how that works, and I haven't acted on anything, and I don't plan to act on anything, which is good. I just have to kind of watch it more, and like it was weird. There was one night that I was lost in the like eating disorder struggle world, and like I started with like one thing about anorexia, and then I was like looking at Athena's stuff, and then I was looking at someone else's stuff, and then I found like a song, and I was like learning about it, and then it was from a musician that I had followed like back in the day, and then he also now has been struggling with an eating disorder. So I was like, oh my gosh, I just went full circle. I went around. I was like looking at eating disorder stuff, looking at other eating disorder stuff, looking at something that wasn't completely related to it, was just completely something else, and then wound it back on the eating disorder stuff. So I don't know how that happened, but it did, and it was really like, so I've had to unfollow from people that are struggling with it, and even like the person, Uncle Bob, that I started making these support stands, like the whole purpose of them in a sense. I looked at some of that stuff. It's just a whole thing. I don't know what's going on, but my brain is definitely latching onto things, and I'm getting triggered for, you know, thoughts and emotions that aren't healthy. And luckily I'm in a position, especially with work at Amaryllis, where I have to actually get more fit and exercise and be able to lift heavy things. I can't act on any of these thoughts, which is good, and that's healthy, and I don't intend to act on them in any fashion, which is good. So that's something that I've been struggling with lately. I definitely went backwards a few times in it, just looking at content that I shouldn't look at, because it's not healthy. And yeah, I did it pretty badly like Monday, I think it was, or yeah, no, it was Monday, because I was on it for like 4 hours. It was bad. It was just a giant mess. What else? I've been having some symptoms here and there. If you don't know, I am diagnosed with OCD, on self-harm and suicide obsessions, which are just intrusive thoughts, borderline personality disorder, depression, hair pulling, and skin picking. And the hair pulling and skin picking got bad again, like not as extreme with the hair pulling because I haven't completely lost my eyebrows, but I definitely have thinness. Skin picking, I started going at my ears again, and then I got an ear infection on this side, and then I don't even know how it happened, but I got a really bad ear infection on this side, and then I had to put in the medicine, which I'm running low on, and it's a whole thing. But luckily this finally went away because I was getting like a headache from it, and my canal was like swollen and it was going into my jaw, so I couldn't even chew. It was a whole issue. I've been struggling a few times here and there a little more. When I was at work last Wednesday, there was actually an ambulance that showed up, and just, you know, to obviously do ambulance things. And that was actually a little bit of a trigger for my own past memories and things like that, like when I was going through hospitalizations and such. So that was odd. I hadn't had that in a while. Sometimes when I see ambulances, sometimes I just see it as an ambulance. Other times I see it and then I'm reminded of past experiences. But I think once I noticed that I wanted to talk about it, and then I decided not to do that with that coworker. So that was probably a better decision anyway. That way I wouldn't ruminate about it. And I pretty much forgot about it like the next day or so. Like I forgot that it even happened. But the audio on this computer for some reason is not as good as like my old laptop. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind more. Next thing. The next situation that I can talk about, work scheduling. So I'm actually at Amaryllis. I'm picking up now. I'm going to be becoming part-time. And I have a few scheduling issues I actually have to deal with tonight about my next shifts and such for next week. But I am picking up 3 days now a week at Amaryllis. So I'm trying to... I wasn't scheduled for today, at least when I got the schedule for it like last week. So that's why I wound up taking up a presentation for today. And then when I found out yesterday that I was supposed to be working today, I was like, oh shit. And that was a very anxiety-provoking kind of thing. I did find out for my schedule for next week that I'm going to be doing meds because I am MAP certified, the medication and administration processing thing. So I'm going to be doing meds on Sunday, which is terrifying, and I have to like look up all my information, like reread the whole manual and everything just to make sure that I'm on top of it for the next 3 days. There's that. So I'm just nervous about that. And then I'm supposed to be working next Friday, but I shouldn't be because I requested that day off. So I have to just figure out some like work stuff. Work in general has been pretty good. There's something about getting disrespected by a 7-year-old that really makes me sad. But I'm trying, I'm working, I'm getting a lot better at it, so that's really good. So things on that end are going pretty well. I filmed this, I think I mentioned it in the beginning part of the clip in this whole weird video, that it's the week before Thanksgiving right now. And I am working on Thanksgiving, so I will not be doing anything really. I might even make maybe I'll make actually like a video kind of like about Thanksgiving. Like I can't do it with my family involved, but like maybe I'll do like there's a channel that I watch. She hasn't, I think it's a woman, but I'm not sure. They haven't uploaded recently, like in the last week or two. They do like they're actually kind of like an eating disorder channel, but like recovery wise, like not like pro eating disorder, like recovery pro stuff. I've kind of been like inspired a few times by like some of the videos that they make, so maybe I'll do some sort of like Thanksgiving themed kind of thing and talk about gratitude or something. That's definitely something I can do. So let me know if you think, should I do some sort of Thanksgiving kind of video and everything. I was thinking about doing Vlogmas. It wouldn't actually be vlogs though, it would just be like uploaded content every day for some span of time for December. So let me know if you think that's a good idea. What else? Okay, support stand though, right? We're filming a support stand. So I've also just been struggling with procrastination, avoidance, mood swings, symptoms here and there, intrusive thoughts here. There's another one. What's the other one? So I'm definitely, struggling with struggling. So the big thing for me, I don't struggle emotionally the same way I used to, like 3-4 years ago. So when I do kind of struggle, when some struggle happens and everything, I am a lot less likely to ask for help. And that's still a very new thing for me. That's not how it used to be. And I'm struggling because I feel like a lot of it is judgments. I'm having a lot of self-judgments about it. I'm having a lot of like, I should be able to handle this myself, or I should be trying to self-regulate, or I shouldn't need help the same way that I used to need help. So it's a whole thing. But I'm trying to challenge that and remind myself that everybody needs help sometimes, and that that's okay, and that I just need some extra support. And yes, the goal is self-regulation, however, also getting support when I need it is helpful and good and not a sign of failure or anything to that effect. I also thought about talking about it, like if I were telling a friend, like if a friend came up to me with my own, like, hey, I'm thinking that I shouldn't be asking for help when I need help and such, and I'd be like, I could do like a script of like what I would say to them, and then put myself in that seat, and then be like, tell myself the same thing. So I'm working on it. I haven't been struggling, not since like, today's Wednesday. Yeah, so I haven't struggled with that too much this week. I did reach out to someone on Twitter. I had the intention of getting a little bit of support, but I forget why I was trying to get support to begin with now. The procrastination has definitely been more of an issue lately, as well as the avoidance, which is pretty much what the procrastination is for. I've been getting more anxious. I joined a book club, so I have to actually read one of these books over here by next Tuesday, which I have to work on today. Again, I feel like this is a weird like mix of a support stand life update kind of thing, and I apologize for that. I probably should have watched my third support stand to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, but I talked a little bit about the struggle thing, and I talked a little bit about the procrastination. It hasn't been as bad, I would say, yesterday, today kind of thing. I got to take a shower, which is good, and the avoidance, I've been trying to challenge it here and there, like trying to do like one thing I'm avoiding each day, or things to that effect. There was actually something that I was interested to do my next career move for. However, I decided to not do it in January. I'm going to try to do it in May next year for the certified peer specialist thing. But I have a lot of things I have to kind of do before May to like challenge myself. So I can figure out what I'm going to do next. So I have about 40 minutes to figure out what I'm doing for my presentation. So I am definitely going to hop off of this once I'm done with it and just set up my kind of script, because my presentation is for grad students who are like going into social work. So I kind of wanted to just do like a different kind of thing than I've done before. So I want to sort of tailor it more towards them and like what like experiences I've had with social workers, mostly in the hospital setting. I have other film videos. I have one that I actually talked about hospitalizations and everything, as well as a few other, there's a whole bunch of haul stuff I can actually do. So that would be really good to do that as well. So yeah, once I finish this video, I'm gonna go work on my presentation, and then at 5, I'm gonna show up there, and then by like 6:30, it's over. So I'm gonna read. I have this book that I'm reading as well, or trying to. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So I'm probably gonna try to read tonight, read some books. Grey's Anatomy is on tomorrow, so I'm gonna watch that. Review MAP certified stuff, just try to ground myself. I put on the perfume, so maybe I'll smell the lotion now. Small run of laundry and skills I can use. Opposite action for sure. Mindfulness, one mindfully might be good. Observe would be really good. That would be a really good. Observe skills is like not just is like how do I phrase this? So using the observe skill is like if I was like giving a presentation, right, and like I'm like talking really fast or talking slow, or like versus like describing is where you like, am I doing that right? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I might not be. I haven't looked at GBT stuff in a long time. The facts is actually a good one. I could also do the dime game for interpersonal effectiveness. That would probably be pretty helpful, and even like a short and dear man for like talking to my boss about scheduling stuff. I could also use Wise Mind, Self-Soothe, and one more. Building Mastery. That would be a good one to use too. I think I have everything. I don't know if any of that made any sense whatsoever. I'm really hoping it did. I'm gonna try to do my best to upload it as soon as I can. That's a really good idea. Doing some sort of Thanksgiving kind of video. That might be, I've never done that before, so I might as well try, right? Let me know in the comments down below, what have you been struggling with? What are some ways you can problem solve it? Remember to use those I statements. So I've been struggling with X thing, I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z about it, or I'm having a hard time with this emotion, here's what I'm trying to do, or here's what hasn't worked, that kind of thing. Remember to share from your own lived experiences, so that those I statements and like, this is what helped me, it might not help you, but here's an idea. And what is one healthy coping strategy that you have been able to identify and use a lot in the last 6 months, let's say, or if that's too much time, like 3 months. So something for me that's helped a lot. That's a good question. What has helped me a lot in the last 6 months? Ooh, that's a good question. I think ink on skin. I haven't filmed a lot of ink on skin, but I have been doing some ink on skin, like watercolor ink on skin. And if you don't know what ink on skin is, it's just me like using watercolor or gel pen to draw on my skin as a way of coping with my thoughts or feelings. If I'm dysregulated, it helps kind of calm me down and bring me to the present moment. I do like song lyrics and like just drawings or phrases or whatever. I haven't filmed a lot of it this year, but I do have a lot of photos for it. I actually just did a piece, Too Bad to Myself by Grace and Chance, which was kind of the eating disorder thing. I did one on my arm like a week ago or so. So ink on skin has definitely been helpful. That was actually, I even used it because I was struggling, and I saw my watercolor palette and I was like, oh hey, maybe I should do some of that. So that actually totally helped, and it's probably been a really good skill that I've been utilizing for the last few months this year and everything. Another question I could ask is, how has the pandemic affected your socializing, and what is one way that you can improve it? So for me, socializing has obviously taken a huge hit. I can try to talk to my friends some more. Like, I have a couple people online that I talk to a little bit more. And then one thing I can do about it, I know I got this book, and it's in one of my haul stuff, but I got this book back in September, from Barnes & Noble, and December I'm planning to do, it has like all these like different, it's called 100 Life Challenges, and it has all these different like monthly like tasks you can do, and like it has space for you to make up your own, but also has like guided ones to do. And I know for December I'm definitely going to be doing the one where it says like reach out to someone each day for the month, which I thought would be nice because of the holidays and everything. So I'm gonna use that, like write letters to people or just send text messages to one individual each day as best as I can. So yeah. Lastly, the last thing I will just say really fast is that I did some acts of kindness. Haven't done that in a very long time, and it went really well. I did it at work, and it was really cool, and I was really glad about that. And I've been definitely having more issues wanting attention and not having it as much in the same ways that I used to. So I haven't even doing like acts of kindness thing was kind of like a attention kind of thing, but like in a healthy way. And yeah, just knowing that I'm doing a good job at work and like knowing that I'm improving and everything to that effect has been really helpful. And again, kind of feeding that validation in a sense, and trying not to find that validation through the internet as much. So that's been a helpful thing. And days that I just don't go online, so it's a nice break from that. So it's 4:30. I gotta go. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video. Again, if you have any comments, things I can improve on, things I'm rambling too much about, how to work on getting into an video editing like vibe and everything, feel free to leave it below. If you think it sucked, tell me why it sucked, all that jazz. Like, I'm really open to things, and I am putting myself out there, so please return something back to me. So yeah. Alright. End of the video. Okay, so as always, stay safe, take care, be well, much love and light to you. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm so grateful that you guys have been responding more lately in the last video, especially that I uploaded. I did not expect to have as much room from it as I have, and I'm really grateful for it. And yeah, I hope you like my content, and if you don't, let me know why. So okay, all right, I think that's it, right? Yeah, I gotta go. Bye.
We're in the same boat, heading for different shores, facing each other, grasping at different oars.